Hello viewers, I'm SB, and this is Griftlands. I've played Griftlands on the channel before, but if you're not familiar with it, Griftlands it's an RPG, it's a card game, it's kind of a strange little thing. There's definitely some bits of Slay the Spire in there, but there's also a whole lot of other stuff going on. It might be best to just get in here and show you. So as you can see, it says here, it just updated. They just released the second character, or the beginning of the second character's campaign. This game is still in like very early access, but as you can see down here, I've played it quite a lot. It's very, very good. I like it a whole lot. So let's, I have not touched the second character at all. I haven't even seen any of the cards. Let's get in here and explore this together. Rook, the Bog Job. An aging spy tries for one last big score before retirement.
You bear the brunt of the world when you wear a soldier's uniform. So you turned yours in and left the Admiralty. But even out of uniform, your name still carries the weight of your medals. Captain Rook, the veteran, the hero, the saboteur, the spy. These days you freelance, and you're on your way to a job in Grout Bog, where the Spark Barons plumb the ruins looking for forgotten treasures. The bugs there are hard to spot, but they bleed you dry if you let them. Seems like you'll fit in just fine.
Narrator getting a little bit judgmental there. Am I supposed to be clicking? Okay, here we go. I thought it might just end on its own. The land around Grout Bog squelches with mud hungry for legs as well as boots. The only road leads to a gate flanked by armed security. A Spark Baron guard steps out into the path as you approach. So there's a whole lot of, like, world here. There's a great big fantasy setting. They don't go out of their way to explain a lot of it to you, but they leave in these little mouse-overs, sort of Pyre style, so that you can learn about it if you feel like it. Spark Barons are, of course, a technocratic faction who recruit new technology from ancient ruins, retrofit new technology from ancient ruins, much to the cult's displeasure. Stop right there. The bog is closed. Especially to grifters like you. This word pretty much means what it means in the real world. Unless you pay the, processing fee. Then maybe I could see to considering your petition for entry. So we could pay the bribe. This is not how I get down. We're going to convince him to let us in without paying. Now, forgive me for being skeptical of this fee. In fact, I'd like to speak to your supervisor. Pulling that strong Karen energy on it. No, we don't need the negotiation tutorial. Listen, I'll tell you guys how it works. So, there are two different decks in the game, and there's two different sorts of combat, if you want to call it that. There's direct physical combat, the battle deck, which will look real familiar to you if you've played things like Slay the Spire. And then there's this. This is a negotiation. This is kind of similar, but also kind of different in some important ways. So here we have our cards. We have 3 actions per turn. Each card lists its action cost in the upper left. And our goal in the negotiation is to reduce our opponent's core argument's resolve to 0. We also have a core argument, and our opponent is trying to do the same thing to us. Around the outer circle here, you can see all of the arguments each character has. At the beginning, we each just have our core. And then over here on our opponent's side, in the inner circle, you can see what he's going to do on his next turn. He's going to do 4 resolve damage to our core argument, and he's going to play some other kind of argument into his circle. So let's see, what does our thing actually do here? Spare coin. Whenever this coin is flipped, apply 1 composure to a random argument if it's heads, and deal 1 damage to a random target if it's snails? Okay, that's interesting. How do we flip the coin? Seems like there's a lot of things that have the heads or snails symbol on them. So you can see there's 3 different colors of cards in the deck. Green cards are diplomacy. This is resolving the problem by being nice. Red cards are hostility. This is more of an intimidation tactic. And then purple cards are things that usually don't directly reduce the enemy's resolve, but they apply other effects. Like composure reduces the amount of resolve loss we take. It's like a shield or temporary hit points. Gamble. Flip your spare coin. Okay, so there's a card that flips the coin. And then on these, does this tell us that this flips the coin when we play it? I guess let's try it and find out. No, wait a second. Okay, this card would ordinarily do 1 to 3 damage, but it's doing 3 to 3 because the snail is facing, or the head is facing up. Okay, so we want to play this card now. Then we want to gamble, Sticky. This card is not discarded at the end of the turn. Okay, so we always can play Call It. There we go. That's what we wanted. We flipped the coin, we dealt a damage to a random target. There was only one target, and now this card is better. Okay, I get this. This is pretty cool. One thing that I do want to talk about, one other element of the card, below the name here, you can see is the XP gauge. Every time you play a card, one of these little bars fills up. When the gauge fills up completely, that card gets upgraded, and we'll get to make a choice about what it becomes. That went pretty well. We rolled pretty well on those. Alright, he has his doubts, and what has he done to my pleasantries? He's appropriated them. All attacks deal 1 more damage, and when this is dismissed, I get my pleasantries back. Okay. He's all business. He gains 1 composure for each red card we draw. Bad news for him is we didn't draw any. Alright. We did not get a great hand as far as damage output goes, but we did get some trickery. So when we improvise a card, that means we get a choice from a couple of different cards picked from a particular pool. So improvise is showing us, draw 2 cards, turn your coin over, or prepare a card, and then the card after we play it gets removed from the deck. Choose a card in your hand and move it to the prepared position. Move it to the prepared position. Hold on. I'm gonna prepare this card. What is this doing? It just moves it left? We must have some effects that care about the order of the cards in our hand? That's not a thing that's true with the other character. Okay, we'll just fiddle around with it a little bit more. Let's see if we can flip over to heads here. Okay, not bad. So we'll get some pleasantries. You know what? I'm gonna pop this and get our other pleasantries back. So you saw that argument had 1 resolve, and then we the overflow damage, we dealt 3 to it. The remaining 2 was dealt to his core argument. And I think we just hit him with the pleasantries again. This way we only have to draw 1 damage card next turn to be sure we'll get there. Do I want to blow this up? Nah, let's knock him down to 3. So this character definitely has a different feel than the other character already. He has once again appropriated my pleasantries. We drew some red this time, which is unfortunate. And he set up a straw man. When he dismisses this argument, we will gain 3 vulnerability, which just causes us to take bonus damage when we get hit. And he's doing a lot of little arguments here, so he's going to take good advantage of that vulnerability. We need to do a thing about this. Fortunately, I'm pretty sure we have him, right? Because we just do this, pop the other pleasantries back into our hand, do 2 bonus damage to him, and then... I suppose I should have played Trickery just to get another experience on it before ending the battle, because we did have 1 more action left. And we get a reward. Okay, so attack a random argument and repeat this card. That's interesting. Foul Mouth is a little bit more damage than you ordinarily get for 1 action, but causes you to discard a card at the same time. And Helmet, while this is in your hand, apply 2 composure to a random argument whenever you prepare a card. So yeah, like, prepare by itself doesn't really do anything, but there's going to be things that hook on to preparing. Well, I gotta be honest with you, Agency looks pretty good. But I kind of want to take Helmet just because it's such a weird thing. Yeah, you know what? Let's take the weird thing. Well, do you want to get your superiors involved? Ha, they'd just double the fee. But fine, Grifter, have it your way. But you'd better have some work papers, else the only thing I'm authorized to give you is a kick in the seat. Let's ask him about some stuff. I've been on the road a long time. Let me rest these old bones a minute while I get my bearings, Hey, you got 5 minutes. We have a strict no loitering policy. So hey, what's up with Grout Bog? As I recall, Grout Bog was once a prospector's dream. This seems, very bureaucratic. Are you kidding? It's been under Spark Baron regulation for a good 20 years at least. A little piece of paradise away from the Admiralty and the cult. So the Admiralty, of course, refers to the military force occupying the area, as was made pretty clear during his intro. The cult of Hesh, yeah, they worship Hesh, an abyssal jellyfish god. They're real weird people. You interact with them a fair amount in the other characters' storyline. A paradise for whom? Well, the barons, of course. Not so much for the contracted labor. They have to dig up the tech, and the bog isn't a forgiving place. Between the pitfalls and the grockets, most don't make it to the end of their terms. What is a grocket? A deadly bog beast, known for its uncanny camouflage. Oh good, I'm sure we'll never run into one of those. Ah, that sounds unpleasant. No kidding. The road out of here is right behind you, Grifter. What about this gate? So the gate is to keep unlicensed rogues from plundering the dig sites. Sure, not that most would have the guts to try. The digs are for old tech, from the Vagrant Age. Half of it explodes the second it oxidizes. The Vagrant Age is an ancient era during which the planet was colonized by spacefarers. Only the Barons got the know-how to dig it up safely. And weaponize it. You gotta profit somehow. But the gates are mostly here to keep the laborers in. I see. That's slightly worrying. I assume the Spark Barons are the law of the land, then. They're the ones paying everyone's bills, aren't they? Grout Bog's operations manager is a former Admiralty officer, even, so he knows a thing or two about authority. And that would be Flemmo. Yes, the Kradeshi. Kradeshi are an amphibious species with large matrilineal families typically found in positions of wealth and influence. When we see one, you'll know it. Huh, yeah, that's right. You heard of him? Oh, he and I are old friends, actually, though we were each 20 years younger when our friendship took root. Time will tell how well it's weathered. Huh, you say so, Grifter. So what about these laborers, then? I've heard whispers of some worker rebellions rising up in parts of Murder Bay. Murder Bay is the area where the other character's story takes place. Yeah, it's a rot, that is. A real sickness. And it's spread to Grout Bog. Half the workers are a sneeze away from open revolt. So we don't need folks like you coming in and stirring up trouble. Then who should I avoid? That's the problem. They keep their cards close, wily-like. The leader could even be a foreman, for all we know. So you gonna give me your papers, or am I gonna give you a very bad day? Yeah, that seems like a reasonable action. No need for hostilities, friend. I'm here by invitation. See for yourself if you like. You pull the signed work visa from an oilskin wallet you carry for such purposes. Huh. Looks legit. Who exactly are you meant to report to? I could say I'm here to work security, in which case I'll get a blacklist. Take names. Playing this card against a new unique character adds their name to the list. Deal 1 bonus damage per name taken. Oh, that's a neat concept. Or we could get a shovel. So the fact that this is orange means it's a combat card, a battle card. It has some temp art there, you can see. Deal 2 damage bonus per empty cell. Gain 2 defense per charge. Empty cell. This is a battle mechanic we're not familiar with yet. Okay, I kind of like the blacklist thing. I think that's a neat mechanic. We'll do this. Come on, man. Do I look like a common laborer to you? I'm reporting to Flemmo directly. Flemmo? No way someone like you... His eyes glance down at your work visa again, and this time he reads the fine print. I mean, of course you are, sir. We'd better hurry this along. Flemmo doesn't like to be kept waiting. Alright, so we got our blacklist. I still gotta search you, though. You got anything to declare? You rummage through your backpack, showing Imiko the contents. You've only got one thing worth declaring, though. So what did we bring with us? Was it a bunch of money, an upgrade to a negotiation card, or a graft slot? So we have these slots into which we can plug upgrades. Looks like we have 4 of each, which I think is more than the other character has. The other character only starts with 3. I don't think we need a 5th slot, probably. Maybe I'll be wrong about this. But let's upgrade a card. I've been meaning to get one of those for myself. I'm curious what happens when you upgrade Call It. We could just upgrade the helmet immediately. I kind of think, though, Trickery is maybe a better way to go. Sal has a card like this. The other character, Sal, has a card like this, and when upgraded, it's quite good. So we'll upgrade this, and we get to either pick a card from a larger pool, so we'll see a larger percentage of the available cards every time, making it more reliable, or the cards themselves will be upgraded. I'm going to go this way. Promoted Trickery. I don't suppose you know what kind of work Flemmo might have for me. How the hesh should I know? Hesh is the deity of the cult. Things are getting rough with the workers, though. They want more rights, better pay. Maybe Flemmo wants you to work security and shut down their union before it starts. I see. That makes sense. And what if I would prefer to find other work? If Flemmo is expecting you, I wouldn't want to disappoint him. But there's always more work to be had in the bog. You could check in with a foreman named Calandra. She's not too strict, and she might take pity on an old fogey like you. Charming. So am I free to go? Yeah, whatever. Thank you, officer. It's been a pleasure. Don't try anything funny in there. Go through the gate, but you feel like Imika will miss you when you're gone. That's probably not true. Alright, so here's the map. It's real simple. We just click on destinations to go to them. There's no, like, free walk or anything. So yeah, let's go check in with Flemmo. At Veeran Regional Headquarters. We'll sometimes have random encounters while we're moving around on the road, but that's really all the more complicated that the map gets. As you enter the official-looking building, you are stopped by an armed guard. Stay there and state your business, Grifter. Here, this is my business. The official sort, my good soldier. Nothing to fret about. You show Mirkat your signed papers. He somehow studies them while still fixing you with a suspicious glare. I mean, he looks like he's worked on that a lot. It's practice. This checks out. Very well. Step inside. So hey, look, it's our buddy. Also, Mirkat here. He is neutral toward us. So, every character that we can encounter in the game world will remember their interactions with us and will develop a positive or negative opinion of us as things go on, and sometimes those reputations will end up meaning an awful lot. Flemmo is easy to recognize, even though the years have been a little too kind to him. You spot him lapping at a drink like a contented salamander. They are known for doing that. I see you've gone up in the world since discharging, eh, rookie? Rook, you old scoundrel, you finally made it. I figured you'd be able to move faster than that, even with that bum leg of yours. Docktown's a long way from here, Flemmo. And that's Captain Rook to you, even if we're both retired. I'll call you your Royal Highness if you can get the job done. Enough fiddle-faddle. Let's get you to work so you can see what I'm up against. Yeah, alright, let's see what it is. You wouldn't have called me out here if it wasn't for something interesting. I'll take the job. Excellent. If there's anyone who can get to the bottom of this, it's you. I have a couple of things that need doing. So, do we want to do food fight for a whole bunch of money, or opportunity message control for some money, and also a speed tonic? When this card is drawn... 2 random cards in hand cost 0 until played. That's interesting. Let's take the money. Money's versatile. Flemmo needs you to defuse a potentially violent situation at the cafe. Now, we see to it that the barons dine like the Kradeshi dynasties of old. But for the laborers, we process some of the biomass extraction byproduct into a nutritional paste. I'm surprised you haven't cracked under the strain of your jealousy. Please, Rook, I've tasted it myself. No worse than Admiralty field rations. It's calories and nutrients, exactly what's needed to keep the workforce healthy. Unfortunately, the ingrates aren't satisfied. They've been causing chaos at the serving lines, and it's holding up meal breaks. A delay in operations jeopardizes the whole mission, as you well know. Alright, so just go over there and make it not turn into a rebellion. See that the ruckus is quelled so I can turn my brain power back to the bottom line, Sure, as you like. Sounds easy enough. Who's this person? Okay, we can buy equipment. So we don't have nearly enough shills for any of this. Never mind. Oh, here's one of those random encounters I was talking about. Have you been to the deep bog? Sorry, did you ask me something? Have you been to the deep bog? No. No, I have not. Fool! You are already standing there. You just can't see what's in front of your face. But you'll see it soon enough. Okay, that's weird. Deep Bog Secret. When this card reaches full XP, it is destroyed and triggers a special event. Okay, that's interesting. A card that costs 2 and has no immediate effect is a thing that's tough to find time for during battle. You have the uneasy feeling that this is not over. Okay, that was a weird one. You step through the door and find a group of workers facing off against a solitary baron. You already got your rations, now take a walk. That wasn't enough and you know it. How are we supposed to get our job done if we're half-starved? Your robot ain't here to protect you today, Baron. They pause as you enter, both looking at you expectantly. Okay, we gotta calm this situation down a little bit. Seems to me like the smart way to calm it down would be by convincing the Baron to actually give them the amount of food they need. The Baron gives a sigh of relief when she sees you. You're Flemmo's man, right? My usual enforcer's in the repair shop, so of course the local rabble are pushing their luck today. Please take care of this so I can get back to business. So we could convince Delano to back us up in a fight, which we would then follow up by fighting the workers. I think we should do this thing, like I said. Because this seems to me like the only version of this thing that is resolved by only convincing one person that they're wrong. Look, they just want a little more to eat. Is that really such a problem? You could meet them halfway, couldn't you? Alright, so we came up. Snails first. You're just going to deal 4 damage. Pretty straightforward. I mean, let's take a name. And then, do we want to... Right, the helmet doesn't do anything. We don't want to gamble now. I guess let's just play, let's just play both of the Grumbles. Oh, sorry, I don't even... That's right, take names was 2 actions. Okay, well we may as well gamble. Might get a point of damage out of it, might get a point of composure. So for cards like Helmet, where they can't be played, they gain experience from just being activated if we made the effect take place. Let's call it... Okay, that was pretty lucky. We're going to do this and get back our other pleasantries. And then I'm going to blow this up, I think. I think both of the cards in our deck might be... Oh no, neither card in our deck is red. Do we really only have... We only have 2 red cards in total. Okay. I'm just making assumptions here. Faulty assumptions based on the way that the other character's deck is built at the beginning of the game. Alright, pretty much the same stuff as last time. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to avoid the straw man getting destroyed here. Well, I guess maybe. Let's try our promoted trickery. So we could incept 2 flustered, which is put in her circle an effect that reduces her damage. Or we could just try to draw and find something better. I don't know that we're going to, though. This will reduce the damage we're taking a little bit, at least. What did she pull? She pulled in a pleasantries. Yeah, we may as well get it back, right? And then we're just going to take, like, kind of a lot of damage. So this first damage is going to give us 3 vulnerability, and that's going to... Okay. Hey, bad news. We didn't draw any cards that do anything. Well, I guess we have enough copies of Rationale here to at least make ourselves not take any damage. She has stolen an awful lot of our cards at this point. And we don't get to flip our coin anymore. Okay, but this'll work. Now we can just set the coin to heads. And then maximum pleasantries, but we have an action here, so let's make sure we're building up XP on our cards as efficiently as possible. Alright, every time we win a negotiation or a battle thing, we'll get to pick a new card. We can always choose not to take a card and instead just get 10 shills in case nothing that's offered really fits with our strategy. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. Yeah, let's take this. So if it's in the leftmost slot in our hand, even if it wasn't prepared, if we just drew it there naturally, it gets this bonus. But obviously, it also does that thing. Plays well with our preparation effect. I guess I can make half work. But only if they back down. Okay, that's a start. The most talkative of the workers steps forward. Our contract says we're supposed to get 2 square a day, but this slop ain't enough. The Baron is cutting our rations and expecting us to pay her to make up the difference. We won't be extorted anymore. Yeah, let's try to just talk this through. Intimidation attempts work a little bit differently from other negotiations because you get some extra red cards that make your existing red cards more effective, but because we have so few red cards to start with, I don't think we're going to be very good at this. So let's just go for a compromise. Look, I get it, you're hungry. You're doing the hard work, and you don't feel like the Barons are holding up their side. I can't promise you everything you're asking for, but what if I could get you a little more? Would you stand down then? Okay, so he's got a different thing here. He's defensive, gains 2 composure whenever I create a new argument. Alright, well, I don't think that's going to end up mattering too much. We don't have a lot of cards that do that. So let's take his name. Now we have 2 names on our list. And just, like, do the obvious thing, right? We do this, and then we flip the coin twice. We're going to level up these call-its pretty quickly. Diplomacy cards deal -1 damage. That's a real problem for me, actually. Let's grumble at that. Turns out we grumble pretty hard around here. And then... well, the damage output on this is slightly better, the expected value. But maybe I'm gonna play the pleasantries even though it's a little bit worse, just because it's close to leveling up and I'd love to get there. And then, do we wanna... we're kind of taking a lot of resolve damage. Over the course of the day, your ability to put up with people slowly erodes, which is very true to real life, in my experience. You know, we'll just attack twice. There are ways of recovering resolve. Okay, 6 damage. I need to flip my coin over. Can we make that happen? Yes, we can. Give your prepared card +3 bonus damage. I think that we don't need to get fancy with this. We just put this on heads, and then we'll use the high XP pleasantries and head turner. Alright, so we definitely have a prepare card thing going on. This costs 2 actions, but also lets you prepare a card while doing 2 to 5 damage. I mean, I think this is what we're going to take. We could try to bend our negotiations in a more hostile direction. But let's stick to the green strategy we have going so far. Well, something is better than nothing. I'll listen to their offer. Well, it's settled then, isn't it? I talked it over with Rook, and I can give you all a bit more. And we'll take that as a first step, but we're watching you. And I'm watching you. If so much as a spoon goes missing from this place, I'll spike your food with fleet oil and give you all diarrhea. You leave them to work out the finer points. Okay, well that went pretty smoothly. Let's go get paid. Trouble at the cafe's over. A calm situation is good for business. I knew I could count on you. Alright, I have another job for you. So another negotiation, we get a little reward bonus because Flemmo likes us now. You can see the little indicator of relationship at the top of the portrait here has changed. So Flemmo wants you to scare off a Rise recruiter who's been sniffing around the work site, so we get to upgrade a card of our choice. Or we could do this thing, which involves us fighting a pack of auto dogs. I think we should do this. First of all, we haven't seen the combat system yet. I'm curious what how his combat deck works. And secondly, winning a fight restores some of your resolve. I think this is probably a good time to do that. The executives keeps wondering when we'll come up with another automech, you know. Our most successful enterprise, and it was brought to us by a laborer. No small wonder. Labor without the labor disputes, as it were. Oh, please, they're virtually useless without a handler. Brainless automatons. To keep the directors happy, we came up with the dogs, but they have the unfortunate habit of going feral. And, wouldn't you guess, the blasted things know the bog better than anyone living. We have reports there's a whole colony loose, preying on wayward laborers. Bad for morale, not to mention attendance, I should say. Indeed. Well, I'm sure you know what I'm asking. Yeah, go blow some stuff up. I got it. You should be able to track the pack from there. Must have been violent if even you're using euphemisms, old chap. The less said about that, the better. I just totally skipped a line up there. Whatever, y'all can read it. Oh, but when you destroy the chassis, be sure to salvage the core. We can run a diagnostic and, likely as not, repair the model. Oh, and I suppose you'll be wanting to requisition some supplies. But I'm afraid that's not on the table, friend. You're a contractor, after all. Try the bartender over at the last stand. It's an unsavory sort of place, and it'll serve unsavory sorts, like you. Otherwise, I'm sure you'll find everything you need. You always were resourceful. Feels like these guys are not really invested in my success, you know? Alright, well let's stop by the last stand and see what they have for us. A dusty old Kradeshi approaches as you enter. You're Admiralty, yeah? I can read it across your shoulders. I was, once. Aerostat, if I had to guess. Yeah. They can take our youth, eh? But they can't take our cunning. Oh, they would if they could, I'm sure. Alright, well met then. Enjoy your... You have your squadron coin. Can I see it? That's weird. That's quite personal. No, please don't take offense. I'm a collector, you see. I have several coins of my own, if you're up for a trade. I'm always here. I like the foot traffic. You decide you might be up for a trade, just find me. Penguin backs off and seems content to give you your space. If there's an angle, you can't guess it. So we could get different coins that presumably have different effects? Heads apply 2 composure to a random argument. Snails draw and discard. The mud coin is just better than ours, right? The mud coin and the marsh coin are both just better than ours, but in different ways. I'm a firm believer that the best defense is a good offense. Let's take this. You trade your current coin for a mud coin. Ah, yes. This one has a familiar weight. A pleasure to hold it again, for sure. Hold on. Okay, it's just showing me what the thing is. Penguin studies the coin fondly before sliding it into a lined case. That's a neat mechanic. I am interested in where they're going with this coin thing. Curious what else they've built on top of it. The bar is well known in your network. A quiet speakeasy where folks like you can rest away from prying eyes. The clients keep their heads down even as you come in. If they're curious enough to study their face, they're clever enough to hide it. Hello, barkeep. The name is Rook, and I'm simply parched. The bartender inspects you carefully, nods once, and keeps the conversation nice and low. Word was I should expect you. I don't make a habit of helping out no more than I need to. You keep that in mind. Yeah? Thank you, barkeep. Your warmth and hospitality will keep me going today, for certain. Hold on, I got something for you. Hebel dings around under the bar, producing a lined case of unlicensed graphs. A gift, my fine friend. Oh, we've only just met. You call in good favors. Boy, so we're just supposed to plug one of these in. I hope I get to wash it first. Alright, every time you gamble and get heads, draw a card. That seems very good. At the start of each negotiation, rig 2... So the first 2 times we flip the coin, it'll come up snails, I assume. And at the start of each turn, gain 1 overcharge. Increases the max damage of all cards by 1 for each count. Gaining charge while fully charged generates overcharge. Okay, so we have this whole cells mechanic that we don't even really know how it works yet. I'm gonna take the cranial patch. Very useful. And if I wanted to call in further favors. I got drinks and I got eats. You want anything other than that, you're gonna have to talk to the Jakes. Collection of free laborers who work the docks and roads controlling tariffs. Okay. They have a shop set up on the edge of the bog, and the edge of the law, for that matter. But they're a cagey bunch, so you might have to prove yourself worthy of their business. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Well, I appreciate the information. I'm sure we'll speak again soon. Look at this, we're making so many friends out here. I mean, let's go check it out. Maybe they'll have something that'll help us with the auto dogs. You approach the market, but an armed guard seeps out of the shadows to cut you off. This establishment is for members only. You turn around now and go back the way you came. Oh, I don't know about all that. A membership would be 100 shills, we would hardly have anything left to shop with. Alright, I'm going to try this. We might not be able to pass it. As clandestine as you make it sound, this is ultimately a business. So if you lose a combat, your character dies. If you lose a negotiation, you just fail to convince the other person. It's not so bad. Let's go ahead and throw out this blacklist. Seems like a fine way to start things. And then I'm gonna flip the coin. And then I'm gonna... Do we want composure? Do we want to try to race? I guess let's go for this. We certainly dealt a lot more damage than we took there. Intense and target previews are hidden, so we don't have any idea what they're doing. Whenever Leaky deals damage, they gain composure equal to the unmitigated damage. Oh, okay. Well, I should probably take my composure a little more seriously then. So if we play this first, then this will be the leftmost card and it won't have a cost, right? And this will shoot over here. That lets me prepare a card, and it doesn't really matter what we prepare. The helmet feeds us for 2 and gains an XP. This is cool. This character has neat mechanics. And we get to exactly block all the damage. Feels to me like we're going to get there. Is there a reason to do anything other than just go head-turner pleasantries? Not really. I mean, I want to do Call It, just because I want to level it up, but I think it might be dangerous to play it at the moment. So, if this does... I kind of want to play Grumble first and hope that it does little enough damage that we still get to play both the other cards. If this deals 3, though, we won't. And I want to make sure we're absolutely certain we are getting the XP on the cards we really want it on. So let's just go ahead and do this. Flipping the coin could well have denied us there. Okay, deal 2 cards, or draw 2 cards, then gamble. And if it's heads, all cards... if heads are up, all cards cost 1 less until played. That's interesting. That's a neat card. And then we have gamble, attack with this card again on heads. I mean, cards that do damage and also gamble seem really useful. Discard this, draw 1 card, and gain 2 dominance. So it's unplayable, it only does stuff if you discard it, so you have to build your deck around that. I think we'll take Dead Draw. It's a little expensive, but it seems useful. My work takes me all over the continent, my friend, sometimes all the way to Rentoria. Island nation to the north of Havaria, frequently but not currently opposed to the Deltrian Empire. I'm a member worth having, with connections in every faction. Do a spy, then? That's a real good smile for the situation. Fine, conditional membership granted. But you better have shills to spill. Yeah, oh hey, Plaka the Swab, I know you. Sometimes this person hangs out in Murder Bay. You're surprised to see a Spark Baron here selling graphs. You look like someone who could use an edge. I have several available. For a price. You remember the Spark Barons, are you not? I am. And this is an illegal black market operation run by the Jakes, is it not? It is. How do you reconcile that? Shouldn't you be reporting this to your superiors? I contain multitudes. Okay, fair enough. Well, we do have some money. Let's see if we can pick up a useful graft. A combat graft might be just the thing here. Deal 2 bonus damage to targets with Ricochet. Okay, I don't know what Ricochet is, but we'll buy it. And then we're a little too broke to buy anything else from you. What about... No, Leaky's the bouncer. You got past security, eh? If they're cool with you, so am I. Let's get down to business, then. Oh, okay, we can take cards out of our deck. Yeah, I think we should probably do that. So, we know a little bit more about our negotiation deck. We know what feels like dead weight. Honestly, I kind of want to cut a rationale. It's just filler, right? Strengthen the deck a little bit. I can lighten your load. That's a weird way to express that, but yeah, please get rid of this. 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 Ple Okay, this was probably a useful stop-off. Let's go to the site of the last attack. You find signs of a recent struggle in the clearing. Bloody scraps of metal and clothing are strewn about, and the distinct odor of ozone hangs heavy in the air. You're kicking over a particular grisly piece of scrap when you realize that you are not alone. Veeran eyes you warily. What are you doing here, Grifter? You see this? This carnage? This is what you're working for. I should teach you a lesson. Veeran reaches for his weapon. Well, there's no point in not trying to convince him to work with us, right? If it fails, we'll just fight him anyway. Wait. We want the same thing. You don't have to like me or who I work for, but hear me out. We should hunt down the pack together. Okay, what's his deal? At the start of each turn, a random card in hand costs 1 extra action this negotiation. Like the whole negotiation? That is a real bummer, man. Okay, draw 2 cards, then gamble, and if it's heads, then we can potentially play a bunch of cards, right? And we have a call it, so we could try to, I'm gonna throw it out here. We have a call it, so we could try to get heads even if we miss it. Yep, like that. And we drew our other call it. Oh wait, maybe it's while that's in your hand, if you have heads, cards cost 1 less, or maybe it's only if the heads comes up from that flip. Well, that's pretty bad. That's bad news for us. Insert a propaganda card. Pair a card, swap its cost with this card's cost. Huh. Alright, let's play pleasantries. It's just gonna fill our deck with garbage. Let's make that not happen. And then we have Dogged. And it doesn't really matter what we prepare. And then we just play a bad Grumble. It's not impossible we could finish him off next turn. And we really, really need to. Well, that's not too good. We can certainly get to enough composure to not take damage here, but he's going to do other stuff, and this feels like a bad turn to do 0 damage. Well, I mean, I guess we're going to get Dogged, aren't we? Because we're going to play both of the rationales, and then we get this for free and hopefully roll high? High enough. Then we may as well call it. Okay. That didn't actually do anything, because extra resolve is lost at the beginning of your turn. But we got a little bit of damage through. Gain 2 actions, draw a card for each friend you have in the Rise. Huh. Well, I think we've got him, right? So let's do Head Turner. Wait, sorry. Let's gain as much XP as we can. So we'll Grumble on this. Then we'll do Pleasantries to it. Then we play Head Turner. It's 1 to 4, so if we gambled and we pulled Snails, we would do 2 damage, we wouldn't get the XP on Head Turner. Let's take the XP on Head Turner. Alright, and we got a Pleasantries and enough XP to get upgraded, so what can it become? Gain 1 influence or destroy this when it's played. Okay, so in case you were trying to get green cards out of your deck. I think this is cool. So as long as we have any points of influence, all of our green cards deal their maximum damage. That seems pretty good for our deck. We're probably going to want to try to get the red cards out eventually. And new stuff. Well, we probably don't want these reds. I like the rigging the coin thing, though. That's a cool mechanic. I could see the deck built around that being fun. Sure, I'll take a bluff. That seems fine. Fine, Grifter. I'll work with you. But only until those barren monstrosities are put down. Great. So, do you know where the pack went? Well, of course. Isn't it obvious? Veeran gestures at the markings on the ground. Just follow me. Alright, we really, really need to get this fight going, because we are totally out of resolve. Using the information you got from Veeran, you find the den. Scavenged scrap metal lies in a haphazardly assembled pile. As you get closer, the sound of buzzing and grinding coming from within is overwhelming. The auto dogs themselves lie motionless around the den in various states of disrepair. It seems that without maintenance, they're slowly falling apart. Suddenly, one of the dogs bolts upright. Bzzz. Still functional members of the pack attack. Okay, so that's a lot of auto dogs. The star rating there is an indication of their strength. Oh, they're falling apart. This should be a cakewalk. Alright, let's remember you said that about the time the 8th one shows up. No, that's alright. I know how to read a card. Okay, so defense is the same thing as composure. You know, it's just blocks some damage. So we have here our charges. At the end of your turn, you gain 1 defend per empty cell. At the start of your turn, you gain 1 charge. Charge can be used by cards for additional effects. Okay, well, let's blast some dudes, huh? So we can see our ally here is not going to do anything. He's just going to apply a status effect. The white in his health bar represents the level that if his health gets down to the white zone, he panics and runs away. And these guys really don't have a lot of health. So why don't we just... Who's attacking me? Front left and back right. Okay. Why don't we kick this guy? Let's get rid of that. And then just apply 3 defense. I assume the rest of the dogs are going to show up one by one. Boy, these things are definitely intimidating. Alright, so we have another charge. Ooh. I do want to play the Deep Bog secret. So who's targeting me? The back dog and... Okay, both the back dogs. That's a shame, because we can see Veeran is attacking this one for a lethal amount of damage. I was kind of hoping that was one of our problems. Well, let's go ahead and Hair Trigger... Ooh, Hair Trigger doesn't actually defeat either of them. The thing is, I really want to get this going as soon as I can, so we're just going to eat a little bit of damage here to make that work. And then we're going to get 2 defense at the end of our turn. I might just hunker down. No, we should do damage. Let's get this guy to a point where any attack will bring him down next turn. Yeah, that attack animation is unsettling. Improvise a card from the pool of special cards, gain 2 charge and also 2 defense. Okay. Well, we draw our Deep Bog secret again. We're being attacked by both of the back dogs. That's very annoying. How dare they not do this in the way that is most effective for me? Ah, we rolled low. Alright, we might not want to play Deep Bog secret this time. We might want to actually just get some stuff done. Especially since I'm wounded and I'm taking bonus damage from attacks. Let's go to the ammo pouch. So spend a charge to apply a wound to an enemy. Spend all charge, deal 1 bonus damage per charge spent. You know, this spell, or this card does enough damage, we could... we can't defeat 2 enemies here no matter how we play this, though. Mark. When you attack this target, gain 1 charge and reduce mark by 1. Okay. I think we want to spend a charge because we want to get as much free defense as possible, right? So if we do this, we're applying a wound to a target who's immediately dead, so that doesn't really help us, but now we're going to get 4 defend and we're totally covered. So I guess blast someone, it doesn't really matter who. This charges mechanic is neat. They do some good game design over there at Klei. Okay, the bottom 2 here. Well, this is a little awkward. Which one's doing the 5? Okay. Front guy gets kicked. It's weird that if we have a metal leg, it's weird that we would kick the robot with the other leg. I'm already going to get 3 defense. Let's just blast him. Every time these guys attack, they're applying progressively more wound, which is obviously a real problem. If our buddy takes this much damage, he is going to peace out of the fight. Well, let's see if we can get lucky with a blast here. We cannot. So he's going to take his turn first. He needs to take 9 more damage to panic. He might do that thing where he's buffing himself again. So he might do that thing where he just gives himself 3 defense. He might be okay, is my point. Let's just take down, who's attacking me? Just take down the guy who's attacking me. Good luck, Veeran. Okay, yeah, he's fine. Alright, that guy is already dead, so... let's hair trigger. Ah, man. That's a shame. I really wanted to just play the Deep Bog secret. You know what? I'm going to. We'll just endure a small amount of damage here. We are going to hatch this secret. Okay, let's hunker down. And also crank, just generate some XP here. And then... alright, winning a battle has restored 12 of our resolve, which is pretty significant, and we get a new battle card. So gain 1 maximum damage per empty cell. Cheap shot costs 1 less per empty cell, so at 4 empty cells it's 1 damage, or 1 action for 4 to 7 damage. That seems pretty great. And this one is free if your charge is empty. I'm inclined to take Cheap Shot. Cheap Shot seems very good. You collect the Autodog cores as Veeran watches. When you're done, he speaks up. The Rise needs those cores. Thank you for your help. I'll be taking them now. No, obviously that will not be the case. I mean, we were paid to get all the cores, right? Even if we win this negotiation, our boss is still going to be mad at us, and winning another fight would give us back some more resolve. Hey, I fought like hell to get these. I'm not giving him up without another fight. We could probably have made friends with him if we had taken it easy. So if we kick him, he'll die. There's a pretty significant difference in Griftlands between killing someone and beating them until the point where they surrender and panic. I'm going to try not to kill him. Gain 2 concentration. Increases minimum damage of attacks by 1. Have your concentration when you take unmitigated damage. Oh, that's pretty cool. Burn. At the start of your turn, take damage equal to the count of burn and deal half as much to all allies and then remove all burn. Okay. So, if we do this, in total it will do 3 to 4 damage. How much do we have to do to him to get into panic right now? That's not actually showing me the mouse over. Oh wait, no. That's okay. We're still getting the mouse over for the cards. They are effectively still there. I can't tell if that's 7 damage or 6. It's going to be tough for us to not kill him. I'm going to take the tracer round. Oh, he'll panic after receiving 4 damage. So let's blast him first. See if we just get lucky and hit the 4. Okay, so we could execute him. Doing so would mean we basically get to loot him, but also people in the area might have some feelings about that. I'm just going to accept his surrender. Alright, 8 more resolve. We're starting to feel healthy-ish again. Veeran does not care for us at this point. So apply 1 burn per concentration, gain 2 overcharge, or apply 2 ricochet to target enemy. We have a thing that works well with ricochet, so we should probably keep playing to that linear, right? You're choosing to start fights, and people are noticing. So incept 1 apprehensive. When we draw this, it just auto-plays. Apply 2 composure to a random argument at the end of the turn. Okay. You gather up spilled cores and leave before the reinforcements arrive. If you kill people, you also get reputation cards like that, and the reputation cards you get for killing people they're usually pretty bad for green strategies and pretty good for red strategies, so you can play a very, aggressive, murderous character, and people start to become more afraid of you as you do that, but also, there are downsides. When I play Sal, I usually play her pretty red, so this will be a nice change of pace for me. We're trying to be nice to people, mostly. Okay, good news. I did the thing. The pack won't be a problem anymore. Here are all the cores. Great, that's one less thing to worry about. We're making pretty good money here. Now, Rook, you know damn well I didn't call you all the way out here just to rough up some organizers. I have my own enforcers for that. I need your particular skills. Yeah, I thought you might. You want to discuss that here? No. Now that you mention it, I rather don't. That watering hole I mentioned earlier. It's a good place to have a quiet conversation. Meet me there after sunset, yes? Then we'll discuss more. You alright to make it there on your own, or will you need an armed escort? Yes, that gentle ribbing again. You forget, Captain. You may have been our leader, but I was the better marksman. It would be a shame if that required a demonstration. Flemmo leaves you alone to contemplate his response. He kind of threatened to shoot me. Just like a little bit. Well, we could just go to the last stand and wait for sunset, but it looks like there are some other things we could do to pass the time here. Tlok is looking to hire a guide for an expedition into the bog, or we could just go to a peaceful clearing. Judging from the text and the icon here, I'm assuming doing this would restore some resolve. We don't need to do that. Let's do some other stuff. Let's get into some trouble. Do you not appreciate the deep bog? What? The deep bog. It sits with you, but you do not sit with it. Is it wasted upon you? No, I don't want to give back the deep bog's secret. No, I'm keeping it. May the deep bog consume you. Uh-oh, Grimdelia hates you. So, spiked drink. 50% chance to gain an ulcer card whenever you drink. Oh. That's not great. So that's just a garbage card that does nothing, but it costs 2 actions to get it out of the deck. Very important that we not have a bunch of cards in our deck that don't do things. You find a lone Jake poring over a crudely drawn map. You there? You there. You looking for the opportunity of a lifetime? Always. What are you offering? The bog. It holds riches, I'm sure of it. In my limited experience, the bog holds mostly danger, slime, and a quick death. But also riches. My research proves it. I just need a bit of protection to help me avoid the quick death part. You follow me as I follow this map, and I'll share the spoils. Yeah, okay. Sorry, what's your research? Tell me about this research. Why, so you could steal it? No way. Alright, fair enough. I'll do it. But this better pay off. Great. Well, you might have to kill an urchin or 10, but other than that, this will be the easiest money you ever earned. You follow Tlok into the bog, guns at the ready. Tlok leads you through the bog. The terrain gets rougher the farther you get from the road. Each step sinks deeper into the bog. It's all you can do to keep walking forward. We become weary when draw and lose 1 action. That's a rough card. Removed upon sleep. Wait, did you hear that? What is it? He's so angry. It's nothing. Let's keep going. You follow, surrounded by bog on all sides. You press on. The bog presses in. Your nose experiences things that language cannot yet describe. Eventually, you come to a rocky outcrop. I hear it again. Are you sure it's not... You're set upon by the local fauna. This would be a real shitty thing to do, and also I won't get paid. You're in an isolated location and can get away with murder. Well, I don't think anybody's going to care about me destroying some feral autodogs. Okay, so he's a Jirackle. That means he gets a free point of power at the beginning of the battle, which just makes him always deal 1 more damage. And, when he attacks, if his attack does any undefended damage, he applies a wound. A Jirackle's a good friend to have. I am... I mean, he's probably going to be fine, right? I'm just going to do a hair trigger thing here. And then we're gonna try to hatch the Deep Bog secret a little bit more. Because that way our charges are empty and we get 4 defend. I'll say already, he feels much more survivable than Sal does. Sal has, I think, she starts with more raw HP, but she doesn't get all this free defense all the time. Okay, do we have a way of spending a cell? No, well, maybe. Let's ammo pouch. Spend a charge to apply some burn? Sounds good to me. So he's already getting killed by the Jirackle. But if we kill him, then Flock will do the 7 damage to the other guy instead. So let's go... I guess it doesn't really matter how we do this. Throw this here and a cheap shot there. Just trying to make sure we're getting our XP. Do we want to maybe charge up Crank? Oh no, I don't want to gain... Well, it wouldn't matter that I gain 2 charge, because I also gain 2 defense to offset the defense loss. Yeah, sure. Let's level this up. Well, that was easy enough. So, winning a battle has restored 5 resolve. Generally, when you actually destroy or kill an enemy in battle, you get a card that represents them in some way. So this is a Rusty Power Core. When we draw this card, we draw another card, so it never clogs up your draws. It just does 5 piercing damage. These seem great. Very happy to have both of those. And also... Char. If the target does burn, you get your action back. This applies a bunch of burn. This just does bonus maximum damage. We're kind of playing with an empty your cells linear a little bit, so let's take this. It plays into what we're doing already. Wow, what a hairball. There's nothing in my notes about that. Time to carry on. Alright, well I guess let's follow him some more. We find a strange structure. We found it. The heart of the bog. Well, where's the money part of it? It requires sacrifice first. Quickly, lay down on that platform. I'll plunge my knife through your heart, and then your spirit will join with the bog and unlock its secrets. Sorry, excuse me? Oh, don't worry, it won't hurt, and you'll be reborn in the spirit of the bog. Obviously, that's not a thing we're doing. Let's, convince him not to do it. My suspicion is, if I kick his ass here, we're not going to get paid. Can you even hear yourself talking anymore? Alright. So what do we want to do here? Let's play the pleasantries. That seems like a pretty easy one. And then maybe call it a couple of times. So we're snails right now, right? The Mudcoin has like a salamander or something on the other side. So let's call it. Okay, so no, it does. The effect of this does not apply. Oh, okay. The actual suit, or rather the face, is listed here. So yeah, this only applies its effect, I guess, if you flip heads off of this gamble, which we cannot seem to do. Okay, well, that didn't go super well. We did get enough XP on one of our call-its to level it up, so that's cool. Incept one apprehensive, autoplay, destroy... Oh, hey, we should take your name. Do I want to blow up his crafty, or do we just ignore it? We should probably blow it up. I have a much easier time planning what we're doing here. Then we'll do a trickery. I guess we'll just lower his damage. Fluster him a bit. Well, the good news is that card was destroyed, right? So we may as well just play the bluff. And then I would really like to see the other side of that coin. Well, that's bad luck. How about we just deal really bad damage? I guess, because we only need to play one of these rationales to negate their damage anyway, right? We should probably try to get rid of that thing, except we're so unlikely to actually do it with 2 grumbles. Well, we should try to put some damage on it at least. Yeah, that's something. This is not going super well. What is this? Targets an opponent's arguments each turn for 2 damage. At the end of turn, double the damage this deals. Okay, so we should kill that right now. Like, immediately right now. I don't really want to gamble. But I do want Head Turner to be prepared, you know? Draw a card, then prepare a card. That sounds great. We prepare you. So we get you, we play you and get your action back. And then... Pleasantries. Pleasantries. Call it, and that makes Dogged prepared. Okay. That was a pretty productive turn. We got some things done there. Yeah, may as well bluff. Just go ahead and throw the bluff up as long as it's free. And then, do we want to try the dead draw thing again? I guess at least doing it makes Dogged free. May as well. Hey look, it actually worked. So it made the cards cheap. Okay, Dogged. Choose a card to prepare. I don't think it can possibly matter. Congratulations, you've been prepared. Let's play Free Promoted Trickery. Is it going to be beneficial to us to set the lucky set the coin to a particular value? I guess we don't need any of the other effects. So right now we do Pleasantries for free. Yeah, and then we set it to snails, and we get a full damage on that. But we should probably play both the Call-Its first, so we can get some free stuff here. Yeah, okay. And now we play the Grumble for a guaranteed kill and also an upgrade on the Grumble. That was very productive. Gamble twice, sticky, or set the coin and sticky. If we set the coin... I like this. I like getting double effect, even if it's a little more unpredictable. I think it'll be more fun. So we're going to upgrade them both that way. And then... Dogged costs 1 when not prepared, or does 2 to 8 damage. I think we're getting our prepare thing going. Okay, and I think we're going to take Lucid Grumble here. We want to get these Grumbles out of our deck, so it'll do a bunch of damage the next time we play it, and then it'll be gone. And attack a random card, or attack a random argument twice, or gamble, deal 4 damage. Man, this seems potentially very good. I'm curious what it would upgrade into. Let's take it. I don't know if that's actually a good card. Fine, I get it. The bog is not cut out for everyone. Now that I know where the heart is, I can come back with someone with a more open mind. Take these shills and leave. Okay. Hey, that worked out. Alright, I think that is probably a pretty good view of what this new character's like. That's going to be it for us for right now, just for the moment, but come back a little bit later today for more of Rook's adventures in the bog, and we'll see you then.